Alright, you guys, so I have two of the Roma tomato plants that I got from the greenhouse. These came in a 6-pack, so I don't have room in the garden bed for them all. So I just emptied my zucchini transplants. I put them into the garden box, and now I have a pot, which literally is which my phone is sitting in right now. And so I have these lovely little Roma tomatoes. 2 of the 6. I'm going to plant them on one of each side of my planter that I was growing zucchini seeds in. Great way to reuse your pot, and also a great way to not overfill your garden beds. You don't have enough space, just use pots, put them on your patio, your deck. It'll work out fine. So you want to dig, whether it's in a pot or in the ground or in your garden bed, you want to dig a, gonna work? Oh, timber. You want to dig a hole deep enough for about the same size and depth as your root ball here. Which, depending on the plant, you know, it differs and varies. I apologize for the noise in the background. We live on the very edge of our small town, so we have fields behind us, but we do have a couple neighbors, and one of them is doing patio rocks today, so it's kind of loud. Usually it's very quiet out here, but alright, so I have these beautiful baby Romas. They're going to grow in my pot, and hopefully they do very well in here. So I had the same thing happen with the Amish sweet banana peppers. They came in a 6-pack. I don't have room to put all 6 down in the big garden bed, in the raised garden box. So I brought 2 up here. They're teeny little guys. These are the smallest 2 of the 6. And these sweet banana peppers are multicolored. So they should be really pretty, and they should be super tasty to eat. And you're like, oh my gosh, don't you want to put more in that big giant pot? No, I don't, because these will grow pretty big, pretty tall, and I'll probably have to put like a stake or 2 in here to help and kind of tie them up as they grow bigger. And then with the Amish Roma tomatoes, so these are going to get pretty big, and I'm going to train them small. I'll have 1 tomato cage in here, and we'll train them both up through it, and it will come out through the tomato cage, hopefully on each side. So we are actually sitting right now on top of the baby bird's nest. It's right underneath these pots. I have them all together because we're kind of in a little bit of a rainy period, and so it kind of protects the little bird nest from the rain. My big dog keeps wanting to find the bird nest, so he keeps getting in trouble and being naughty. This is my little Rose, so she needs a little help. So we had frost last night. Well, the last 2 nights. Last night we had an actual frost, but she was inside and she outgrew her pot. So I had to repot her, and I'm trying to train her outside now so that we can plant her in the ground near the end of summer when she's a little bit bigger. I'm kind of hoping her root ball will fill up this planter. And so she had a bunch of new leaves here. I don't know if you could tell. They were pretty green, new leaves, and they turned white when I brought them out here. We had a couple of windy days, but I did cover all these because I had my zucchini and cucumber and herbs out here, so I covered them up the last 2 nights. I'll probably have to do it again tonight because it's supposed to get down to 40, and I think that's the end of the frost. But she does have some lovely new little leaves, so she is recovering. She had pretty pink flowers on her when I got her. Oh, is that going to be a bud right here? That might be a new bud for a rose. But so you can tell, like, she's got a little bit of brownage going on. She's not very happy with me that I brought her outside, but she is starting to get some new leaves, so that I think she's going to be okay. My little seed starters that I did inside. So turnips, I need to go transplant these. I might do that today. We're supposed to get a fair amount of rain in the next couple of days. I've got some colored peppers, 4 colored peppers. I'm going to have a ton of 4 colored peppers. I have one tricolored pepper that should be really cool if I can get her to keep growing. I got some Romas, and I got some sweet candy peppers that are red and green. My banana peppers never did grow. And then, so these are my transplants. I have a stray celery going on here. Eggplants I took out. They already died, so I did seeds out in the garden bed. So I have some transplants. I'm going to show you where I'm going to put these, and then I'll show you what I got from Amish greenhouse to plant out in the new garden bed. Alright, so I've done some new planting. It's May 12th, so we had frost, actual frost last night. It's supposed to get down to 40 tonight. The last 2 nights I have covered up all the sensitive plants, so my new flowers, my tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers that I'm about to go plant. I've been covering them up. But I did bring out my little zucchini transplants. I have a little one, and then this one, but I don't think this one's gonna make it. The leaves are all still pretty green, but his stem isn't doing so good. So I have 2 transplants, and then I actually planted a new zucchini seed right next to him, and I have one there and one here. So I hope I'll have 4 zucchini plants. Last year we did 4, and we had an abundance of cucumbers or zucchinis. I was going to plant these over here, but the garlic's still there, so I chose this corner of the garden bed. Down here, you guys, I have candy corn mini pumpkins. I have 1 seed here. And then I have over here, kind of hard to see, I have 2 more down in here. We did this with watermelons last year, and I'm going to do it with mini pumpkins this year. You train them to grow. Can you see through the trellis? The sunlight's making it difficult. I have this trellis here, some wire netting to keep rabbits out. And so with the watermelons and little pumpkins, you can train the vines to come through your garden fence. And then I will have them going along the outside of the boxes. So that hopefully will work out. Oh yes. And then, even though in my little transplant tray I have a ton of 4-color peppers, I don't know if the transplants are going to take, so I planted some more pepper seeds over here. And then, so I have these funny little, let me come at a different angle. I have these funny little things growing. I'm trying to remember what we had back here last year. Because I have one. Where is she? That's so hard to see in the sunlight. Can you see? She's got little green leaves on her. It's growing back. What the heck? I cannot remember what we had back here last year. It wasn't cucumbers. It wasn't tomatoes. It was not snap peas. It wasn't the green beans. I don't remember what we had back here, but it's regrowing. So this garden bed, she's already fully planted, you guys. She's still looking a little empty, but I have cucumber seeds in the back there, and then I have 1 little cucumber transplant. I'm hoping more will pop up in that pot up on the deck, but I'll have a couple cucumber plants back there. We got radishes, green onions, lettuce. I got those sweet turnips in the middle. I planted a few seeds, and I need to bring those transplants out here. Snap peas in the back. And then this, you guys, is what I'm working on today. It's my brand new garden bed for tomatoes and peppers. So I've got a couple of 6-packs, and I took 2 out of a couple of them and put them in pots up on the deck. I'll show you how I did that here in a bit. I do have from the Amish greenhouse, we have fun little watermelon. There's actually 2 in here. So I got 2 for the price of 1, and I'll do 1 on each side of the string, and then we'll train them to come outside the garden bed and go around the outside. So as you can see, I've done a little, it's not square foot gardening, it's more like 1.5 by 1.5 square feet maybe. I tried to do 2 feet, kind of. I'm not a perfect kind of gardener. I just like to keep things easy and simple. So I just used some twine, y'all, and marked off some fairly even squares. Let's see what we have in here. So my game plan is that my tomato and pepper transplants are going to go in the outer squares on the ends. That way, if they fail, then the ones I got from the Amish greenhouse, which there's a lot of, I can replant those and move them to the outer squares, which is a little bit easier to do, to move them from the inside out instead of from the outside in. But we have sweet banana peppers that are multicolored. Those are going to be wonderful. I have one of my 2 little basil plants. I think I'm going to do the other one in a pot so I can bring her indoors in winter. It's a good thing you can grow basil and tomatoes together. It helps the tomatoes out. So I have 2 husky cherry red tomato plants, and I think I can probably put 2 tomato cages in this square. Like, I think it'll be okay. I might stagnate them a little bit. So one's towards the back and one's towards the front. I am going to, eventually we're going to have, so we have those trellises over there. I have all those on the back of those garden beds, but it made it really hard to get the tomatoes out from the back side. So this year, I think we're not going to do the trellis because I'll have tomato cages out here. But if we do, it'll probably go in the middle. And then, so I'm going to have, let's see, we have some tomato transplants, I think, for this end. But I'm also going to do my long red slim pepper and my jalapeno pepper. And then I have Roma. These are from the Amish greenhouse. So I think my transplant Romas are going to go in that corner. And then these ones will go here. And again, 4 of them is too many for these squares that I have marked off. But I tell you what, I'm going to plant all 4 of them because I'll see which ones grow better. And then I can always move some or thin them out if needed. And again, I can probably only fit 2 tomato cages in each of these squares. So we'll figure it out. Part of gardening is just going along the way. Then I have beefsteak tomatoes, big hearty juicy ones. I think these are the same ones we got last year from the Amish greenhouse. They were phenomenal. So again, there's 6 in there, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all those. But I got yelled at last year from my husband, like, why do you have so many tomato plants? But last year I didn't do the farmer's market, and I plan on doing our farmer's market in town. So extra tomatoes and peppers I think will be okay. I will definitely have to come and thin this square out as they start growing, as I need to get them in the tomato cages. So let's start planting. This is my game plan for the new garden box. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Alright guys, so I went ahead and planted my peppers and tomatoes from the Amish greenhouse. Cover these again for you. So we did the sweet banana peppers here. I have 2 up in a pot on the deck. Those are going to be amazing. And then I did the husky cherry red tomatoes. I had just 2 of those. Plus I did a little basil down here. We got over here, we have jalapeno and the long red slim peppers, chili peppers. I'm gonna do transplants in this corner. Still trying to decide. I'm really antsy. I feel like if I bring those transplants and put them out, they're going to hate me and not make it. But I'm antsy. I want to do it. So this is a beefsteak. I had a 6-pack of beefsteak tomatoes that are fantastic. We had them last year. But I don't have room for all 6. So I put 1 here because I'm going to have transplants in this little corner. So if they don't take, then, well, I got this guy. I have got the aromas, and there's 4 in there, and I'll probably end up pulling 1, maybe 2 of those out. We'll move them around. I gotta see how the transplants end up doing. I put 2 of those guys up in a pot as well on the deck, and there's the other 2 beefsteaks I'm keeping. My little string isn't staying. And then I have my little watermelon guy over here. This might just be 1 seed. I thought it was 2, but I think it's just 1, and I'll train him to come over the edge of the garden bed. And then, you guys, so I was sitting there thinking, because I have all these transplants to bring out, and there wasn't enough space really for all of them. And now I'm like, when this garlic is done, maybe I'll put some of them here, because I'll have this corner open. I think originally I was going to do, well, this was supposed to be the zucchini, but I put the zucchini over there for now. And I might do more lettuce over here. Decisions, guys. But yeah, so that's the planting of my new garden bed. So exciting.